Hello, Paradigm Shifters. So grateful that you're here today on March 21st, 2023. Paradigm Shifters, we have a special guest from Nigeria that was pre-recorded, Chinwe Ebele. And I'm going to do my magic behind the scenes here, and I'm going to play the video, but I wanted to say a deep breath of appreciation for you and all the new things that we're learning and all the progress we've made technically and spiritually. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up Chinwe. There you go. And we will get this party started. Yeah, this is my screen. Oh, I know what I want to do first. Hold on. I want to take myself off here so that you will be concentrating on there. Okay. All right. So we good? Awesome. So here we go. This is, and there might be times where I'll be fast forwarding, but here we go. Chinwe. And this was recorded yesterday. All right. Hello, Paradigm Shifters. Welcome. Yeah, welcome for Transformation Tuesday. Yeah, so we've been doing Transformation Tuesday since March of 2020. You believe that?
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And every time we come together, we're transforming, just sometimes a little, sometimes like, whoop. And we know that we are on a journey and a path. So Paradigm Shifters is a growing global community dedicated to shift and uplift the whole planet. How's that for just something little? Our mission. And yeah, we are from about 56, 57 countries, and wow, a couple thousand members. And so what March 2023, our topic has been honoring the journey. Yes, and I feel it is so perfect for this Lenten season as we head towards Easter. And I wanted, and our guest today is from Nigeria, Chinwe Ebele. Is that how I say it right?
Ebele.
Ebele? Oops. Anyway, Chinwe is the first African from Nigeria to be trained and certified as a Dream Builder coach by the used to be Life Mastery Institute, now Brave Thinking Institute. I just love that because we're always transforming. So she has over 30 years working experience in various industries, and she's globally sought after as a transformational speaker, coach, and trainer. Chinwe is also a member of the International Membership for Professional Advisors, Coaches, and Trainers. And she's an associate member of the Charter Insurance Institute of Nigeria. Chinwe holds a BS in psychology and a master's degree in managerial psychology. Phew, in addition to a host of professional certifications. Now, I love this, that you have been involved in sensitizing youth and women and empowering them to change the trajectory of their lives. But also what I know about you is that you're a mom, a beautiful, beautiful angel. So come on in here and tell us a little bit about, that what the topic means to you, who you are, where you are, and how are you honoring your journey or have honored your journey? It's all yours, Chinwe.
Yeah, Judy, for this invitation. And I really celebrate you for picking this topic, for the month of March, because the truth is that all of us have our own sacred journeys. And it's it's a great thing that you're honoring it, because a lot of times people look down on our journeys, okay? But like I tell people today, I tell my stories, people pay money. The story is being created, it may not be very pleasant. So I have all kinds of journeys in my life, but maybe I could start with how I came about becoming a certified dream builder coach. Before then, I was working with an insurance company, having been chartered. And on a particular day, my MD then said, Mrs. Ebele, thank you so much for your services. You've really contributed immensely to the growth of the company. So can you just send in your resignation? Continued, sending my that the more I kept feeling I didn't have.
Our connection is a little bit there. I think it'll come in if you take your video off. I think we can hear you better.
Okay.
Now, yeah, it's just it's a little choppy, but sometimes if you take the video off and speak, sometimes that will take care of the connection.
Yeah, what really happened was that the internet went off.
Okay, I think we're okay now. Okay.
Yeah, the internet actually went off completely, just came back. I'm not in Lagos now, I'm in my home country, so it's a bit very unstable here with the internet. Okay, and I don't know the last thing you heard. What was the last thing you heard?
About when you left your insurance company.
Okay, yeah. And I was beautifully paid with a beautiful testimonial. I then said I wouldn't work for anybody again. I'll go ahead and do something for myself. And so I continued sending myself for trainings, but then I realized that the more I went for trainings, the more deficient I felt. I kept feeling I didn't have what it would take to stand on my own. So along the line, I met one of my former senior colleagues, and so he invited me to partner with him in his consulting firm. And then we started working together. Along the line, he realized that I had some money that were idle, the money I was paid. And so he invited me to invest the money. I did, and the money, it became a bad investment. In my local palace, we will say the money kept me depressed for like 2 years. I couldn't get myself to do anything. Each time I wanted to do something, I would hear something saying, you don't have what it takes, you're going to make another mistake, and people will judge you. Yeah. So I was in that space for 2 years. I was really depressed. But then I realized that the only thing that was giving me life all through those 2 years was mentoring women and youths in church, teaching them, empowering them, with my words. And so that made me I was having more fulfillment than I had when I was working and earning so much money. And so that made me to ask a question, not knowing I could tap to the universal law. I said, what is it? What is it that will qualify me to start doing this kind of job globally? I asked a solution-based question, even without knowing anything about these things at that point. And I strongly believe that was what connected me to the Life Mastery Institute. Because up till this day, I do not know how the mail entered my box, but I was invited to a webinar by Mary. And when I went for that webinar, it was everything I was looking for. It was like the missing puzzle in my life. It brought everything about me. I mean, my psychology background, my selling background, my strong belief in the word of God, being a teacher and an ardent believer, everything came together, And as we were coming to the end of the webinar, she sold the Dream Builder program. I didn't have the money, but I said, whatever he was going to take, I will register for it.
Well,
and I did.
That was then. So tell me about like the journey in 2023 for you and possibly for your part of the world. You know, and this is 2023. Where's your journey now taking you? And what about your beliefs now in 2023?
Okay. Yes, this journey has brought me to where I am. You know, that was how eventually I went ahead to enroll for the certification program, and I became the first certified Dream Builder coach in Africa. Now, even after that journey, there was another journey. Right. In 2015, I lost my father and my brother the same week. They were buried within 2 days. Okay. But for what I have learned, I would have been depressed again. But then I asked the question. I said, Father, what do you want me to take out of this situation? And that question I asked opened my eyes to see the pains, the loneliness, the frustration of patients, the insensitivity of hospital personnel in my country. And that opened up a line of business. I saw it as a call. I said, rather than getting bitter and suing people for my father and my brother, I could make life better for other people. And so I started a hospital transformation program, you know, where, yes, I show them the bigger picture, teach doctors, nurses, hospital personnel, and you will hear confessions where they will say, oh, now I understand why I should work better. And so I was able to turn my pain to gain, the pain of losing 2 family members the same week. Okay. That's good.
That's it. So the turning your pain to gain.
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay. So tell me more about what you're seeing about just that one little sentence as far as the people, the people, it's like a global, that is global. Yeah. And have you seen people turn away from their pain and just get stuck?
Yes, I've seen people not turning away from their pain and getting stuck. I've seen people focusing on their pain and getting stuck and stagnating at that point. I mean, what happened to me, if I didn't have the right tools and the grace of God, I would have been stuck at that point. You know what it means to bury your brother on a Thursday and bury your father on a Friday the same week. Okay, so, but the truth is that whatever we focus on will expand. And so I chose not to focus on my pain. I chose to focus on the person of increase I am called to be in the world. I knew that those people, if they knew better, they will do better. And so I took it out of myself to go help them learn responsibility, how to choose your response to situations. It was this same insight that and recognition, awareness that made me to also work with prostitutes. Before then, I was judging prostitutes like every other person. But I remember in the 4th week of my coaching, that week said, do something you've never done before. And I was the one coaching at that point, and I had to do it. Go talk to a prostitute. Because I had changed my perception. I was no longer judging and condemning them like other people. I felt if these people knew better, they would do better. And that's how I started working with prostitutes. That very first one is living with her husband now. The second one has a job working, you know, because I see them as human beings. The same way I work with prisoners who are, you know, yes, incarcerated. And people will say, what are you doing with them? They are all criminals. But today I have prisoners I have transformed, and they are writing books inside the prison. In the prison, they are taught that forgiveness is a sin, but I've made them to see that forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. And when I get them to the point of accepting my teaching and accepting to forgive those who have hurt them, usually it doesn't take time, they get released from that place. I've also taught them, and they have come to say it, that there's a worse kind of prison, worse than where they are. I've made them to understand that the people that are in the worst prison are those who enslaved themselves with their mindset. People who enslaved themselves, because I've made them to know that here where you are, you're free to think. I've taught them how to wake up in the morning, do their meditation, and then sit down and begin to develop the right muscles so that when they leave prison, they don't get to come back. The research says once anybody leaves prison, give the person 3 years, he'll come back. But for these people, I'm training them to acquire the right muscles, so that while they are there, they're already envisioning their life outside prison. And they're building it up, they're dream building it. My program for them is captioned Reawaken Your Genius. That's the program I'm having for the prisoners. So when they come out, they already know what they want to do, and they hit the ground running, okay? So the latest journey I am in now is the Lenten Transformative Challenge.
Right.
Yeah, okay. You have been a guest.
The
And
Lenten Transformation Challenge, yes.
Yes, exactly. Because being a good Catholic, we know that we have 40 days in Lent, is a spiritual time, but a lot of times people just see it as a mere routine, okay? But this time we decided to support people to make it more transformational, so that every day you learn something new you want to add to your lifestyle, to your habits, or you want to let go of. Something you want to let go of so you can bring out a better version of yourself. And we've had all kinds of discussions around this, We've had all kinds, for instance, today now, what we're discussing today is the power of decluttering, where you declutter your environment, whether your mental environment, your physical environment, and all of that, and the effect it will have on you. So I'm teaching people all of these things that they're not used to, but that matter in the way they live their lives, okay?
There you go. I love it. It is a journey. It's like a constant journey. Every time we wake up, it's a journey. And we get
Absolutely.
to choose, and we choose, to choose to see the prostitutes, to see the prisoners within us, as well as others. So I love it. So if you could, if you had one tool, I love the fact that you're coming from the other side of the world, and that we're going to do this internet thing, whether we see it or not. If you could give us one tool that you have found, one basic, simple tool that you could, give to our community when it just seems like the journey is, they want to give up. Yeah. What is a tool that you could give us that possibly is one that you've used over and over and over again for yourself, or that you've taught?
Okay. One major tool I will advise anybody to embrace is the tool of focusing on the truth. There's a difference between the fact and the truth. There's a difference between appearance and the truth. These days, I've come to understand that the things I don't see are more real than the things I see. And so I don't allow myself get seduced by the things I see. Even in the scriptures, in Hebrews 11 verse 3, he said the things we see were made out of things we do not see. The things that make people depressed are the things they are seeing or hearing or feeling. Those are the things that make people depressed. Those are the things people get to focus on. And I have learned the power of focus. Whatever I focus on will always expand. And what you focus on will blind you to some other things. And so I am intentional about the things I want to focus on. I make sure I focus on the thing that will be empowering. Okay, not the things that will sabotage me or be disempowering to me. Because no matter how tiny the thing is, even if it's an office pain, as tiny as an office pain is, if I bring it before me and I focus all my attention on it, I won't see you. As tiny as it is, if I focus all my attention on an office pain, I won't see you. That's all I will see. And that happens to everybody, irrespective of how big or how spiritual you are. It almost happened to Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane when he was shown all he would go through. That was the point. He said, Father, please take this cup away from me. Because he became overwhelming, because he was also 100% human at that point. But if you go to Hebrews 12 verse 2, he now gave us the secret. He said he removed his eyes from the circumstances and focused on the joy that was set before him. Now, because he's focused on the joy that was set before him, he now receives strength to despise the shame of the cross. And that's how he was able to overcome. And then he focused on purpose rather than focusing on appearance. So that's one major tool I know will always work. Rather than focus on the weakness of your spouse, focus on that one single strength. Even if he has 9 weaknesses and you focus on that one strength, you will be a happier woman in that marriage.
There you go.
So that's a major tool.
Well, great. Well,
everybody to embrace the power of focusing on the truth.
There you go. We're focusing on the truth. I love it. Well, so I'm going to take a deep breath in here and ask you well, first of all, thank you for, coming on and being our guest. And if we could, as our community, what would you love us to have hold for you personally? What would you love to have us hold for you, your family, your country, whatever? What would you love? What would you love?
Well, for my country, a lot of things are very unstable now, having come out of this election. So I'd love you people to hold for us peace and stability in Nigeria.
Okay.
Peace and stability in Nigeria. Yeah.
Peace and stability in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And in the world as a whole, we're focusing in right now, yes. So we're going to take it and put our energy all the way there. There, you got it? Yeah.
I receive it. I receive
it. Great. Well, thank you so much for being here. And we so appreciate you and all of the work, God's work, the truth.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you so much for being here. And this is a wrap.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Yes. There you go.
Hello, Paradigm Shifters. Welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome for Transformation Tuesday. Yes, we've been doing transformation.